Variables are places in program memory where you can store, access, and modify information. There are three main types of variables in GameMaker: instance variables, global variables, and local variables. If we need them, we'll cover local variables later in the course. So for now, I'm going to talk about global and instance variables. Instance variables are called that because they belong to each instance of an object, maintaining their own version of the data. Here I have a simple project to show how this works. I have a red tokened object here that I'm going to use to show instance variables. So I'm going to click Add Event and Create, and then I want to set a variable. We're going to call it Counter, and we're just going to set it to 0. When an instance of this object is created when the room runs, it'll set counter to 0. Next, we want to be able to increment the counter or make it go up. So I'm going to click Add Event, Mouse, and then left press. So when I left click on the instance, this will happen. So now I'm going to select Assign Variable again, Counter again, and I'm going to set 1 relative. Now when I select relative, that means it'll take the current value and add this value to it. So it's going to add 1 every time this runs. So now I already have a room set up with 2 instances of this object. So I'm going to run the game. And here you can see the 2 red objects. If I click one, you'll see the value increments, but the value on the other one doesn't change. And I can click that one, and that has a separate counter. They do not share information between them. Be sure to read the page in Moodle, which describes some important instance variables that already exist, such as x, y, speed, direction, and sprite index, all of which we will use variously throughout this course. Global variables are different in that they are shared across the entire game. You declare a variable as global by starting with global period. So I'm going to open up my global object, which is green. And again, we're going to add a create event and set variable. This time we're going to do global.counter and leave it as 0 for this. And again, we're going to do add event, mouse, left pressed, and set variable, again, global.counter. And we're going to set it to 1 relative. So when an instance of this object is clicked, global.counter is incremented. And I've updated the room to show this. So I'm going to run the game. And now you can see we have our red tokens, which are still set up for instance variables, as you can see. And the green ones are using a global variable. So if I click one, they both increment. Now global variables are shared across the entire game, not just instances of the same object type. So if we had a blue token that used the global.counter, it would also increment when we clicked either the blue or green. I hope that gives you a brief explanation of the various variable types. We will be covering these more as we need to in the course.